Alright guys, I started working on that other piece that I needed to do on the floor pan back there. So I thought I'd bring you in a little closer and show you what I got going on here and how I made it. It took me a lot of time, actually a little bit more time than I thought it would. But it actually looks pretty good, and I'm going to probably get it welded up here in a few minutes. But I'll bring you down closer here and show you. Obviously you have to excuse the messy workbench, but here's the panel that was in there originally, and you can see it was pretty corroded up. You know, the rust cancer got it and stuff. But this is the shape that I needed to get into it. So here's the one I made. And I ended up go ahead and putting all this stuff in it too, because that's the lip that's in the car there. But you can see these actually turned out very similar. I mean, if you lay it over top, it's almost identical. So it really did turn out well. So this was a flat piece of steel too. This was not welded at all. This is hammered completely out as one flat piece of steel, or sheet metal really. What I did is I made this. So it's a block of wood. Now I kept grinding it or sanding it down and everything until I got it to fit in the back of this one. And you can see how well it fits. It fits pretty good. You know, there's some areas that, you know, it's hard to get it exact. But, you know, I got it sanded to where it's flat like this. You know, and whenever I was doing all this, getting this down, I had sawdust everywhere in here. And, you know, this is a metal shop, not a wood shop, you know. So I had to get that cleaned up. But all I did then was lay that guy on there and lay this tin one here, clamped it down, and used all the hammers and everything and worked it in. You know, I used my regular body hammer. One of the things that works well is I used the ball of this, and I have a this is a brass or a lead hammer. I think this one's a brass one. And then I just worked this in the whole way around until I got it down to where it was. And then I used pretty much everything around to get it all smoothed out. I mean, it's not perfectly smooth, but it is actually a lot better than I thought it would turn out. So that's just to give you an idea. You know, get creative whenever you're trying to make these pieces and panels, and you'd be surprised what you can make by hand. Now, if I had some other tools, you know, I could have probably done this a heck of a lot nicer and better. But this is common hand tools that's laying around the house. I don't want to invest in a lot of other tools, you know, for doing auto body and stuff, because it's not me. But you can do this at home. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and get this welded up in the car, and I'll bring you back and show you what it looks like once it's in the car there. I figured before I got it welded up, I would show you, you know, this is the old panel that laid in there. And you can see how it kind of fit roughly. And then the new panel, it's going to lay in there. And you can see it's pretty close too. Yeah, there is a gap over here. I'm not worried about that right now. And that's my own fault. Whenever I went ahead and made this piece here, I added extra length on the side of this one here, and I thought I added enough, and you can see I obviously didn't. I wasn't taking into account of, you know, it's pulling this metal in while you're trying to shape this in here. So it's my screw up, but I'm not too worried about it. There's a trick that you can use to fill that gap up rather quick. So that's what I'm gonna do. And, you know, for you guys out there that may not know this trick, is they actually make a tool for this, and all it is a piece of copper. What you do is you put it underneath here, in between your gap, make sure you're flush and everything, and then you can use your MIG and just weld right across that, and the copper it won't stick to. So all you're doing is using it to bridge the gap. It works really well. So, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and get this welded in then. I just wanted to show you real quick, you know, this is a trick that, it's kind of a strange story, but someone bought something off of Facebook Marketplace off me here, and He told me to do about this. I never knew about this. But if you put a piece of copper underneath there, you can bridge this gap no problem. So you can see the copper underneath there, and I'll show you. So you can bridge right across that, no problem. So that's a good trick to have in your back pocket. Well, you can see I got the panel in. It looks pretty good. It butted up real nice here. Everything looks good. And very happy with it. I mean, it even blended real nice. I'm not sure why this did this here, but it won't hurt anything. There's a cross member here, and this piece here is right here. So I think it caused a little bit of a buckle. But everything's tight underneath and everything, so I'm not sure why, but it's fine. You won't notice it whenever everything's put back together. I was going to start working on the back panels here, and then I realized I forgot about this panel. The downfall with this panel is this is all I have to go off of. Everything else is completely rotted away. So, you know, the only way I know to do it, same with a lot of people, that this is the way they do it. I cut and made a template. Got it to fit pretty decent. Then I started working on the sheet metal. I cut the sheet metal to the same shape, got it to fit nice in there. Then I went ahead and welded the flange onto it. And then I'll go ahead and get this hole drilled. Then these I'm going to weld into here to mimic these. And then it should look pretty decent. So just thought I'd show you quick. I tried putting these in by hand, you know, and hammered them out. I just couldn't get them to fold right, so what I ended up doing is just making little pieces like this to go in. And once it's ground up and everything, you won't notice. But and then I was gonna put the flange on it to get this to curve this way, and it actually curves a little bit this way. It was a little difficult. So one of the tricks that I do all the time is just weld a flange on it, and then come back in with the angle grinder or a grinder and just smooth this out and make it a nice radius in there, and then it'll mimic like a folded flange. So I'm going to go ahead and get everything welded up, get the hole drilled, and get these pieces put in, and then I'll bring you back to show you what it turned out like. Alright, so here's the piece. It seemed like it turned out pretty good. Everything's pretty close. Looks like it fits in here relatively nice. So the next thing is get this thing welded in, and this side's pretty much done except for doing the back floor pan here. So, but now I didn't have to cut these out after I had welded it. I only did it because it looks more factory, but I mean really nobody's ever going to see it, so it's not going to matter. And also sometimes, you know, getting in these corners and creases here to get it smoothed out a little bit, it's a little bit hard with some of those tools. So what I did was throw it in a bead glass cabinet, and that's why it smoothed it out and has that little bit of a dull look to it. But anyway, thanks for watching. We'll start on the back floorboards here next, and that'll probably be the next episode. Take care.